Hi, my name is Sandi Jerome, and today I'm going to show you how to make a cruise photo book. I made this one from my Viking Rhine River journey, where I went from Basel, Switzerland, up to Amsterdam on the Rhine River. And you may have read my free ebook. I also put it up on Amazon, the Rhine River Cruising. And I'm going to kind of show you how you can today take the text out of there and put it into this photo book. I'll show you the steps to do the free download of it, and then you can use that Word document to help you make your own Cruise River Journey book like this. Now, I made mine on Shutterfly. I've used Shutterfly for years. I know you may have one that you prefer. I prefer Shutterfly. Mainly, I've been using them since 2011, so a long time. I've made books for like my granddaughters, one for one. And then here's another one. I have 4 granddaughters. And I've even made books. When my brother died, I made sort of a memorial book for my dad. Kind of had all the little comments that were made on the obituary site. I put all those little comments into this book for my dad to read because he's older, doesn't really get online. And then I put little pictures to go with each one of the little comments about my brother in the book. And then I have a friend that hit her 90th birthday, and so I made her a photo book. She used to be my neighbor where I grew up in Escondido. So I made her a photo book about all of our stuff together. I put in there some of the cards that she's one of those people that always sent me a birthday card. So I made a photo book on that. And then I made a photo book about, we were able to get the Purple Heart and traveled to my uncle's grave who died in World War II in Luxembourg. So this is kind of the story of how we got the Purple Heart and then our journey to Luxembourg. And then some of the really nice books that I've made over the years are really graduation books for my granddaughters. And so this is one of my granddaughters' graduation book. And then I even was able to order these cute little thank you cards for her to send out after her gifts. And then this is another one of my granddaughter's graduation books. And so they're a little bit bigger. They have all the little pictures over the years. But first of all, I'm going to talk today about the river journey. And Shutterfly allows you to kind of make a nice little process when you're taking your photos. I take my photos right now on an iPhone. And so they're all stored on that. They're in date order. And then what was kind of easy for me is I downloaded the Shutterfly app to my iPad. Now I like to work on the iPad. It's fine. I have the iPad Pro, so it's a little bit bigger. But it's not as easy to work with. I have some vision issues, so I actually have a really large screen, and this is Shutterfly up on the large screen. So the process is that I took my pictures on my iPhone. They, of course, sync with my iPad. I have the Shutterfly app here, and then I created a new project, and then I clicked on upload photos, and then because the iPhone syncs with the iPad, I was able just to select them all, and they were all kind of like in a grouping there, and they showed up in Shutterfly in my new project for this photo book. And the neat thing is that when you do it this way, and you don't have to have an iPhone, you could also do it with an Android, go up to, let's say, you sync up here to Google Photos, and then you can just go here online or on your Surface or whatever device you use on an Android system, and then upload them up here. So it makes a nice little flow from taking the photo into an app if you want to use an app, and then right into a PC if you like the big editing screen like I did. And what they do is that they actually end up putting all your photos in the photo book for you, and they're in there by date and time order. So for me, because I kind of wanted to make mine kind of chronological, and I have a lot of text in mine, and I'll talk about that in a second, but it put everything in chronological order. So it started, we did the pre-tour extension in Basel, and so it started, here's my tour guide, and here's us taking a tour of downtown Basel, and then it goes right into the port. We left out of port Drylander deck, I think is the name of it. So it put those in, and then I did the pictures of the ship. Once I got on the ship, I did the whole ship. Then I went into Breebach, and then we went to Breebach and those pictures. And then we went on the Mercedes-Benz tours. I have the Mercedes-Benz tour. Okay, I had a couple pictures because we took a lot of pictures at Mercedes-Benz. And then we stayed on the ship during the Worms and Spire part. And so we had all those pictures going on the ship. And I took some pictures of like the Aquafet buffet there. And then we went into Redenstein, and we went to the Aldi there. So I have those pictures there. And you'll see lots and lots of text. And that text came in right from my Rhine River book. And the easiest way is to bring them up in a Word type of doc or Google Doc. And so at the end of this video, I'm going to kind of show you the steps of how to go to my website, how to click and get the free ebook of that. I also have a printed, a lot of people said they wanted to take it on the cruise with them. So I have a printed copy that you can buy on Amazon, but the ebook that you can download from my website is free. So I took that Word doc that you'll be able to download, log in and download, and I just cut and paste it into here. Now, one thing about the text is that it seemed like when I would do a text box like this, is that it would have like a little warning sign there. And I didn't know if it would say like it had overrun or some other error, but I ended up just changing the font, and then it was all fine. Now, the funny thing is that when you first load your pictures, some of these photos, like this one here of me, comes out to be full screen. Well, you know, I'm not an age where full screen of me is that great to have the whole page my picture. So then I would just click on that picture, grab it by the side, and then drag it down, make it small, and then bring in my text that talks about that day. And this in particular is my favorite part of the book, which is Castle Day. And I researched a lot of the castles, and I put those texts into my book, and then you can grab that text and put it into here. So on Castle Day, I took lots and lots of pictures of the castles and got all the little backstory of each of the castles. And like this one's about that castle, and oh, the mouse. I love the story of the mouse tower, and so there's actually the most amount of pages are on Castle Day, and then of course the cathedral at Cologne, that was wonderful, and Kobitz. So that's all here, and it's all in chronological order, comes in automatically. We spent quite a bit of time in Cologne at the Chocolate Museum. That was a highlight. So if you have lots of pictures of one things, you can put those in there and talk about that. And then for me, the trip was special because this is where my family, my German side of my family, I'm part Native American on my dad's side. On my mom's side, it's all German and Danish and Dutch. And so we actually went right by Kiev, which is a part in Germany where this bridge is located, where I actually got to see right where my family, my German side of the family, of my mom's side of the family. And then later on we saw the Dutch side. So then we went into Kinderdijk and saw the windmills. Oh, that was a fun day, seeing all the windmills. And then my final days in Amsterdam, staying at the Hilton, and it was during Hurricane Ian, so they closed the Orlando airport, so we weren't able to get back in. So we got to spend a little bit of extra time in Amsterdam. And then we ended up going through Iceland, and then there's this cute little sheep in the gift shop that I took a picture of. And then you get to pick a really pretty, as you can see, the really pretty photo for the back. And then we actually got a good picture, a decent picture of ourselves in Cologne, and that's the Chocolate Museum behind us. And so, when you're our age and you actually get a picture where both of us have our, our mouths normal and not going, and our eyes open, you want to keep that picture there. And you may recognize it because that's the picture that I used in my free ebook. It's right there. You probably, if you've been following my journey, you've been reading maybe this ebook and you recognize that picture. Just briefly, I wanted to say some of the other things that you can get on Shutterfly are puzzles. I love getting puzzles of my granddaughters. I make lots of them. That's a smaller one, and then I have a bigger one back here. So along with the photo books, if it's something that Shutterfly can print on, coffee cups, calendars, shirts, I mean, just all kinds of items, they will do it. And that's my favorite gift to get from my dad. My dad's 93, he has everything in the world. So I've made him a lot of photo books of different things, a lot of things from his past. I have one book of just the automobiles that he owned, and including bicycles and four-wheelers and things like that. So a lot of ways that you can make photo books if you have granddaughters. Obviously, you want to, capture all of their childhood in a way that they can flip through and look at it. And then, of course, if you have someone like my dad. Now, when you go to the Shutterfly site, there's always a discount. I mean, I get emails probably every week or so with a discount. So this photo book for me, even though I upgraded for quite a few things, I forget what I got. I think I got I got a better cover. I got matte finish, because, this was a big trip for us. Those that paid the bill for Viking, you know how much of a trip it is for you, expense-wise. So I got, think of the better pages and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and I got this little thing in the back, this little plastic thing where I'm going to be able to put some of the little, I don't know, some of my tickets every day that I got for the excursions and stuff like that I'll put in the back. So the whole thing with the discounts, everything was about $40. You can spend a lot more if you don't get a discount, and you get these really big ones that I do for the girls' graduation. You can spend a little bit more, but the price is really reasonable, and there's always discounts on the website. When you're on the website, I'm not going to go a lot into the tutorial of how to use this, because there's a help here. See a little help right there? There's a help there, and there's lots of articles on how to do it. But the concept is, just the basic concept is that all of your photos come in down here, down at the bottom, and they put them in your book. Now you can switch over to manual mode and get all the photos out of the book and then back down here. But I let it do it. It did it by date. It did a great job. So they all come up into the book. And like I told you before, I'm going to show you how to get the text part if you want to have a book with a lot of text and a lot of the stories of the castles, because, frankly, you may not have paid attention much to the program director when she was telling us about all the castles, because it's so cold and windy out there and it's a little noisy. So if you want some of my stories from it, I'll show you how to actually download those from there. But of course, all it meant was having two windows open. One was my document with all of this text that's in the big thick book, so about everything, and I had that open. And then when I saw something that related to that, I would cut and paste that and put it into here. And I've mentioned a couple times on my website, this book is copyrighted, but I'm giving you permission in this video. I'm giving you permission to put it online, that you can use any part of this book. This is not how I earn my income. I'm retired now. I always talk about my third parts of my life, and my first act of my life was, of course, growing up, going to college, becoming a CPA, getting certified, learning computer science. The second act of my life was work. And then I'm in my third act right now, which what I like to do what I do now. I garden a lot. You'll see I have lots of gardening videos. I spend a lot of time at Disney's Animal Kingdom. I wrote a book about that, about all the animals. I make videos about all the animals that I enjoy seeing. I go there a couple times a week. I'm an annual pass holder, Florida annual pass holder, so I go there a couple times a week. So I've written a book about that, the amazing animals of Disney's Animal Kingdom. And then what I'm really doing is this third act of my life is I'm a writer. And nonfiction books, I mean, it was okay, it was good. This wasn't that hard of a book to write, because what I did is that I started out with a Google Doc. And so I opened up a Google Doc as soon as I booked the tour. And then anytime I would see anything interesting on a Facebook group or on my research of going on this trip, because I'd never taken a trip like this. This was a huge trip for me. So anytime I'd see something interesting about that trip, I would put that into the Google Doc. And And then every day I would email my best friend about my days that day, and I would put that into the Google Doc, all the things that I saw and what we did that day, and maybe some cute little stories of what my husband did. My husband's always doing some cute little things, so I put that into the Google Doc. So when I got home, I actually had this doc pretty much done. The only thing I hadn't done is maybe some research on some of the cities that I'd seen, and on the excursions that we didn't take. We didn't take a lot of excursions. So I made that into a Google Doc, and then when I got home, it was really close to being done. So then I finished it all up, and that's why I give it. So that's not how I make an income. I just wanted to cover. Amazon doesn't let you sell books for free, so there's a minimum price that you have to sell it for after it. And this is an expensive book to create. And this book, The Amazing Animals of Disney's Animal Kingdom, was a very inexpensive. So you can see it's much smaller. It's a lot fewer pages, and all of the pictures inside are just sketches that I made. In fact, I had one person make a comment that it would have been nice if these were big color photos. Well, if they're big color photos, this would be closer to the price of this book, which is color inside, and this book, which is black and white inside. So these kind of books are very inexpensive to make, and these are nonfiction books. But what I'm actually writing is I'm writing a lot of fiction books, and I've settled on middle grade and young adult because that's the time of my life where I have probably the most emotions. Is when I was young and growing up. I kind of had a tyrant of an older brother, kind of abusive older brother, and then also kind of reaching back into my Cherokee heritage. And so I've written 2 books so far. It's called Sleep Warrior. It's about a preteen. She's middle school age. She starts sleepwalking, but in reality, her Cherokee ancestor, Clarissa, takes over her body at night to perform superhero feats. You kind of think of Pocahontas or Moana meets the terror of a new middle school. The flying horse and the talking bears are fictional, but Clarissa is my actual Cherokee ancestor. The other one that I'm writing is called Murder at the Magic Kingdom. And it's kind of a modern day Enola Holmes book about an aspiring kick-ass 13-year-old detective named Wilma Wallaby, who's grown up being physically abused by her bully of an older brother. Little self-story there. And then when she overhears a real murder being planned at Disney World, she must stand up against her sibling in her own crafty way, and before she is the one that gets murdered. You can read both of these books right now on my website. I'm looking for some comments and some peer review about them. I'm also looking for a literary agent and hopefully a publisher that will help me get a publisher. So if you know someone that is a literary agent of children's books, that's kind of in my third act where I've settled on. I also write a blog each month, and I'll probably start doing a little blog work out there on different topics. Like I said, I really enjoy in my third act quite a few things. I enjoy gardening. I spend a lot of time at the Disney parks, and so you'll see videos about this plant, especially longevity spinach. I'm on a kind of a mission to give this out to my whole development. I give out these free plants all the time, and some other plants that I grow in my very small backyard, but healthy plants. I like to get everything that you can eat, and this is one that helps lower cholesterol and blood pressure. You just grab the leaves and it grows into a big bush, so it's a really nice one. So I have videos on that. I of course have lots of videos about the animals at the Animal Kingdom, and they're excerpts from this book, and so you kind of watch those. I also like writing a blog. I kind of started with a thing called Throwback Thursday that I do on Facebook from my genealogy research on both sides of my family and my husband's family. So I've been taking those and often my blog that I write each month, about the 15th of the month I write a blog, and then I might start doing some other blogs about things that I'm interested in. As a CPA, of course, I have a financial background, and I like to write a little bit about that. Although I don't give out financial advice because I am retired and it's not as fun as it used to. But I do have personal finance that I work a lot with. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you will get a chance to make your own cruise book of all your pictures in this trip. It's kind of a nice way that when people are over visiting, instead of, hauling out, trying to show them on your phone, here's this picture, you're able to give a nice, big, beautiful spread of your trip and even tell some stories. And you can loan it out to people or give it to people. This is actually a Christmas gift for my husband. Don't let him see it. But hopefully he'll enjoy that, because I don't think he's ever seen all the pictures from our trip, and this is a nice way to share kind of the trip of a lifetime for us. Thank you for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for if you're interested in some of my other videos. Thanks.